I am super, super, super excited. I know you guys hear me say that a lot, but really, I have a certain set of people that are not only people I consider to be mentors, people who I consider to be experts in the field, but people who I feel like truly steward forward what I am so passionate about, which is freedom, transformation, and abundance. And Jay Massey is one of the souls in this world who is as dedicated, if not, well, I don't know if you're more dedicated, Jay. I'm pretty dedicated. I really am. I do this when I talk to my clients 9 to 2, 5 days a week, right? About freedom, transformation, and abundance. That's my gig. And I get the feeling, Jay, that's your gig. So Jay, you go ahead and give us your bio and your story, because it's actually quite impressive.
You're going to hear my story, but when you hear my story, don't be impressed at the story. Just understand that my story is my story. It was what was required to get me up and out of the chair, off the couch, and into action. And all of us have this opportunity to take action. And every one of us, yes, you listening to me right now, you're being offered excuses or reasons is what you call them at the moment, but they're excuses as to why you can't step and be into the greatest version of a human that I believe you were born to be. So for me, the story starts because my wife and I, we had just purchased our very first piece of real estate. Now, mind you, this was no real estate experience, and I can prove it to you because we bought a condo in Anaheim for $320,000 using the wrong type of financing, and that's just the beginning of the story. Anyway, so we had bought a condo, we had bought a brand new car, we had done all these things. I was a financial planner, she was a recruiter, and things felt great. My wife, when she's pregnant, however, we discovered that she has a condition known as hyperemesis, which means she can't eat or drink, basically when pregnant, which was scary. And that was just the beginning, because now I'm scared. I'm operating with a different mental mindset. And I'm like, how am I going to still go to work? How can I still plan financials of other individuals? Because you're not going to come to the hospital and sit down and make that work. So I stopped working because I was trying to take care of her at the hospital, but that created a situation to where if you don't work, you don't eat. And I realized we had a problem. One day, because I was trying to blow off steam, I went to go play volleyball. I jumped, I landed on a guy's head, punctured my lung, and that in combination with a wrong drug interaction that the doctors had given me and being born with asthma meant I could not walk and talk. So understand, this is the situation. My wife can't eat or drink, I can't walk or talk, and someone approaches me, knows all this is going on, and says, you should become a real estate investor, and our credit score was 398 at the time. That's where we started. And I know every one of you have a story. That's so what? And the same is true for me. So what? That's the condition that I was given. All right. The question is what are you going to do about it? I never want a year to repeat itself. I don't want to have the same experience this year as I did last year. And on that journey, we've done wholesaling. We then we found out there was a tax problem because, you change. I mean, 20,000. I remember that first week we did 20,000 a week. I almost lost my mind. I was like, what is this? This is not possible. Not for someone who looks like me. This was not something that my family had ever grew up talking about. And then I just let that, what if what I thought was true wasn't true, keep going to the point to where many people know me for teaching them, obviously wholesaling, but we went on to raise tens and tens of millions of dollars of capital. We've taught a lot of people to do the same. Many people know about our apartment journeys where, we've, anywhere from 8 units up to 182 units. We've done cell phone towers, commercial buildings. And as the part of this new evolution, now we focus on short-term rentals. What's interesting about short-term rentals, and this is where I began to apply things. At first, I was like, okay, let me go buy a house. Because what happened is one of my students brought it to me. I had taught them to raise capital. Then they came to me and said, hey, well, we raised the capital, but we didn't do what you said. And that's usually the beginning of the uh-oh.
What do I have to help them straighten out? What has that occurred?
What went wrong?
What went wrong?
Break, right? And then they said, well, but this is what we did. And then what it turns out that they were doing is that they went and started a bunch of short-term rentals. And then it was like, yeah, and now we have this problem because we were doing student housing and we were doing this, but these short-term rentals, they're starting to make more money. We don't understand what we should invest our time with. And I'm just like, huh? Because student housing is profitable. And I'm like, what do you mean? Talk to me. And long story short, Christina, the numbers made sense. And so and it was one of those few times where someone brought something to me and I said, you know what? I'm going to do this.